College is actually a scam. I'm a junior majoring in mechanical engineering, and the number of useless classes that I'm required to take is truly mind-boggling. College drags out the amount of credits you need so that they could steal more money from us and put us in greater debt. I shouldn't have English. The same as a high school English class, by the way. History. A required semester of a foreign language. For those who actually think this is useful. No, it isn't. 99% of people won't have working proficiency in a language after one entry to insert language semester. Philosophy, sociology, and a music, art credit. All these useless classes are robbing me of my time and money. This could have been a 2 years curriculum, but instead, colleges made it 4 years by adding useless classes. That's why a lot of people do their basics at a community college and then transfer. The cost for college and student loans are the scam. Education is important. Arbitrary barriers to education like these hurt all of humanity by excluding millions from being able to contribute, all of which they are capable. If you can look around America right now and think, we really could use fewer people with a grounding in media literacy, history, economics and sound political philosophy, then I don't know what to tell you except stay in school. Son, the big problems are not engineering problems. And engineering problems approached by people who think they can ignore the social implications of what they're working on generally create more problems than they solve. Believe me, one day, in your future career, you will wish that some of your colleagues had taken an extra English course. Especially the one writing your reviews or making important communications. My boss has asked me to stop correcting his grammar. I only do it in close meetings and honestly only do it because it would be embarrassing if he says it in other, larger meetings. As an engineer for the past 35 years, I have done an insane amount of writing. Reports, procedures, manuals, on and on. Learn that English. All of those classes help to make you a well-rounded individual. My husband is in a master's program for computer science, and it is abundantly clear that these students need to learn to write. I do agree college isn't for everyone, but the point shouldn't be just to get a degree and get a job. It has become that thanks to the exorbitant costs, but the intent of college is to become more well-rounded, thorough, and worldly through interacting with people you might not have otherwise. You should have just gone to a trade school then. University prepares you for the world. It's literally in the name. Without those useless classes, schools will churn out members of society who believe in pseudoscience, are unable to grasp the concept of statistical measurements, lack exposure to other cultures, are unfamiliar with the trappings involved in authoritarian regimes and dictatorship. How different would you be then from a robot that can do mechanical engineering-related functions? College is supposed to produce well-rounded students, not just degree-holding one-trick ponies. You STEM majors seem to forget just how much it pays to be well-read. Not only in the context of your careers, but life in general. Engineers should also be well-rounded human beings. If a robot could truly do your job, you'd be out of it. A robot can't do your job because you, wonderful living, thinking, ever-adaptable creature that you are the key. Your creativity, problem-solving skills, and quick thinking are a big part of what will make you good at what you do. If all you work on is the math, the rules, the rigid stuff, your work will suffer. Because you won't be able to think out of the box because you never learned how and never got the chance to practice that skill. I notice you only named humanities and arts subjects as useless. Apparently you never consume any kind of art, music, multimedia entertainment, or literature. And I assume you live in a brutalist undecorated gray cell. Seeing as you have no use for these subjects or the products they ultimately produce. These subjects don't teach you useless information for nothing, or just to waste your cash. Friend, their purpose in the context of your degree is teach you different ways of thinking about the world, different styles and methods of approaching complex problems, and, hopefully, anyway, a little bit of compassion and appreciation for your fellow humans and their creations and accomplishments. All of that will make you a better engineer and a better person. I'm sorry you're not enjoying those subjects, but maybe adjusting your mindset would help you see their value? Could be something worth doing an experiment on. No? Speaking as a college grad that's gotten more use out of the 1 semester of Java I took in college than I have from any other class. Trust me, just because you don't know where it's going to be used now doesn't mean it won't be useful. I've literally never used Java, but having a basic understanding of code and how to use it has let me grow in ways after college that I wouldn't have been able to without it. Literature, ideally at least, teaches you how read beyond the text, how to make inferences about an author based on their writing, and how to influence others with your own writing. If you don't see how that translates to writing a business proposal or interpreting a public statement, then yeah, you should probably just skip college entirely. It's because in engineering and a lot of other majors it's more important to understand and be good at how to think, not what to think. Those other classes set you apart from someone who is a wrench turner who can make their own designs. You'll be making systems, which require a lot more knowledge than practical skills. You're now learning that most of your job will be paperwork. So English is important, that the world is globally connected. So a foreign language is important. Same with abstract concepts like philosophy, because if you create something you need to understand ethics, and having those debates is better done in the classroom than the workplace. Sociology can go a long way to understanding that the things you build may not be seen the same, may not work for everyone, and that different cultures and backgrounds can impact perspectives of success. Even something like a music credit isn't bad because you're learning more creativity. Engineering is a massively male-dominated and rigid field. Some creativity isn't the worst to instill in future engineers. All this to say, you may not see the purpose, but these courses will indeed help you now and in the future in your role as an engineer. If you only want to build off plans, you can go to a trade school, but understand you won't be a mechanical engineer if you do that. Oh no, they're trying to make you into a more cultured and well-rounded person. The purpose of education should be solely to get you a job, with none of this silly liberal nonsense. The scam is employers pushing the responsibility of job training to academia. You should go to a trade school if you aren't interested in language, art, history, philosophy and music. The aim of a university is to send people who have studied more than their vocation minimally requires, aka well-rounded individuals, into the world in hopes they will improve through study of different disciplines on the current knowledge in their major field of study. 1 semester of a foreign language is nothing. Most non-English speakers read, write and converse in at least 3 languages. So suck it up. And it won't hurt you or rip you off if you pay attention in some of those classes unrelated to the job you eventually want. You might find a satisfying hobby, interest to pursue in your non-working hours. You're misunderstanding the point of undergraduate studies. Maybe you could go to a different kind of college? Or a trade school? I know that lots of high school advisors push the typical 4-year liberal arts college. But it's not the only option out there. Also, I don't think that those classes are inherently useless. Maybe not what you're after, and not what you need for a job. But there is value in learning language. music, etc. All these useless classes. These are the kinds of classes that differentiate a college from a trade school. Colleges don't just train you in a skill. They also give you the tools you'll need to be a critical thinker, able to analyze complex issues, compare alternate approaches, and tackle any topic. And those courses are core requirements for any college. For an undergraduate degree, unless you took them in high school, in which cases you may be able to waive the college requirement. The real scam is our capitalist society that only views education as a mere means to an end and not the wonderful journey it ought to be. I'm glad undergrad degrees require courses in English and history and all that. They make you a better thinker and draw connections between disparate subjects. Undergrad is meant to be a time of intellectual exploration that will ideally be useful in a career or in an advanced degree program. College should be free or heavily subsidized because everyone should have the opportunity to learn. The solution is hardly to axe college classes that don't directly tie to a desired income source. No, college attempting to give you a rounded education is not a scam. You having to pay for college is the scam. Do not be a corporate drone who was never taught about philosophy. In Denmark they pay you to go to college. We are getting finessed in America. No, you will not find much support here for people receiving less education and barreling straight into their fields. This is not a pro-work and anti-intellectual subreddit. How do you know that these classes are useless? Do you know what skills and education will be useful to you in the future?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.